back on your favourite local radio station with Kerry Ellis, the big star of the West End right now. And let's face it, you are. There's a few who stick out, but you seem to have captured people's hearts with that big, whopping, great big set of lungs that you've got.
I don't know what you're going to say then. But yes, I'm kind of known for being a big belter, I guess. But yeah, it's good.
I don't think the Royal Variety hurt you, did it? By getting on there in front of royalty and with all those other stars, and then little old you with Brian May behind you, that can't hurt.
Oh, it was incredible. Well, it was so surreal. I mean, doing the show was just brilliant, and, you know, all the smoke and the lights, and Brian there, you know, cranking on his guitar, and, I mean, it was so surreal and brilliant. But then waiting in the wings to come on for the curtain call, stood next to like Gary Barlow, and then there's Cliff Richard stood behind me, and you know, then Rihanna walks past, and I was just sat there going, my God, what is this? But brilliant experience. I had a ball.
Do you want my next premonition? And I'm not normally wrong with these things.
Go on.
Here's my next premonition.
Make it good.
We Will Rock You will open on Broadway with Adam Lambert from American Idol starring,
isn't he?
and you will be taken across the Scaramouche.
Well, I'd love that.
Adam is not really as much a rock star or a pop star as a musical star, I don't know if you agree. And it seems to me he was made for that role. In the same way that Tony Vincent, they seem very similar. I don't know whether this Adams modelled himself on Tony, who was the original Galileo in We Will Rock You, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Tony was great as well. And I think Tony had a bit of a music career when he joined Rock You. And Adam,
Are you too lazy to say We Will, by the way?
We will.
I noticed we only get Rock You.
Everybody calls it Rock You. You know, it's like Les Mis. No one ever says Les Miserables. It's like,
but it is Les Miserables, Les Mis. Why just Rock You?
That's mean. Everybody calls it Rock You.
Not on this programme.
Oh, do they not? In a minute I'll be saying we will rock you.
Yeah.
Oh, comedy.
So, are you going to go and see ACT at any point? I mean, we're not going to say Sister Act, we might as well just call it ACT. I mean, I don't know, any other shows you'd like to go to? Of the opera, or something like that, maybe?
Oh, dear.
So, you are going to go back to Broadway. This is my premonition. Put it on all the websites. I say Brian's going to have me there, because he's got an ego the size of Wales, let's face it, that man. He loves to be the big star, and he's going to take that show over there, and he'll open it open night with Adam, and you'll be there.
Well, that would be nice. I'd be game.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll put it to him later.
All right.
I'll give him a call.
Well, I'll put it to you and you put it to him.
Okay.
And then he can put it to his people, and then we'll see what happens.
Your people talk to my people.
Loads of questions from your fans then. We've got one from Jane. What would we expect from you in the future? Where are you going to go next?
Well, after my songbook experience, maybe, hopefully that might open up and I might get to do that some other places. The O2.
I think so.
I'd like to finish my album with Brian.
How likely do you think it is to get at the O2 with your own show?
Well, I don't know about my own show, but, you know, I keep making this list, and, you know, this list I keep ticking them off, which I have to kind of create new things to do. You know, years ago it was Broadway, the Albert Hall, you know, and I keep doing them. So hopefully something bigger and better will come along. I keep having to top it.
Reach for the stars. I actually think that the Royal Albert Hall would be better venue than the O2, to be honest. I mean, you're going to go down better in a better class of people, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah, possibly.
If you can afford a couple of £100 a ticket, you're not really riff-raff, are you?
Well, you know, I never say never. John Barrowman's just done it, so why not?
Yeah, well, there you are. And your album, Jane wants to know about this as well. When is it coming out? What's going to be on it? And who are you going to do it with?
Well, obviously Brian is my main mentor, and he's basically producing it. What's on it is we've got tons of stuff we're trying to work on. We kind of have more of a way of doing it as opposed to what's going to be on it yet. We've kind of got a formula of a big orchestra but doing a rock spin on it. That kind of seems to be our formula, because I kind of have the two worlds of musical, but I also have a powerful kind of rocky voice. So it's emerging the two, and having the orchestra and the rock element kind of seems to work. So that's kind of the basis of the album, and we're just kind of finding songs. I think Brian's busy writing for me, so hope maybe a new song, maybe something new. Well, we'll see. It's kind of in the mix at the moment. It's slow progress. And
when will you be sending it to me to interview you again?
Well, you know, we're going to hopefully end of the year, early next year. So, you know, now that I have actually time to work on it, we'll be cracking on and getting it done. But, you know, great things come slowly. So it's not a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And as I always say, nothing good was made in a rush other than ourselves. Faye wants to know, when will you reappear in the West End? Well, I suppose you're going to reappear next week.
I know, next week, yeah. Come and see it on the 26th. It's the only one that's not sold out yet.
What do you miss the most about Wicked? Welcome back to the big show. It's Alex
The people.
That took you a while.
Well, you know what? It's because I did it for 3 years, and I've only been out of it for kind of a couple of weeks. So I was doing shows for a good 9 years, pretty much show to show. So I've never been out of a show longer than a week. So I'm actually enjoying the rest of it, not going in. I actually get to go and see shows now, which is great. So, but I'm sure I will get that kind of buzz soon and want to go back. So.
I think people forget the pressure of having to deliver 8 times a week and turning up and getting there. I mean, we're recording this on a day when there's no underground. That doesn't make things easy. You've got to get in an hour and a half. There's a whole load of things before you get on stage.
It depends on the show as well. I mean, Wicked, just it's so demanding, and like Sister Act, I'm sure. It's the same. It's such a demanding role that it takes over your life. And the past shows that I've done, I've still been able to manage a good balance, whereas Wicked, I literally had to become a saint for 2 years, 3 years. So I have my life back a little bit, which is nice.
Catherine wants to know, are you going to take this show to Broadway, your one-lady show at the shop?
Well, I never say never, but, it would be brilliant if they'd want me. Perhaps I'll go over and do, is it Birdland, the little theatre over there? Perhaps I'll go and do it there for a week or so.
Nosy people want to know what you do in your spare time. Sort of people like me, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, plug my show. To be honest, since I finished, I've literally put everything into the songbook. I'm also doing a couple of concerts afterwards, so I've pretty much been busy, really. And when I'm not working, I'm quite sporty, really. I like to play tennis, walk my dog, do normal things.
See, this is why we could never get married then. I mean, I like to sit in front of the TV, you want to walk the dog.
I do, I love
go to
walking
the
my
gym.
dog, love it.
What have you got, Shih Tzu? Or?
No, I've got a proper dog.
Have you?
I've got a Jack Russell.
Bull Mastiff?
I've got a Jack Russell.
Lovely, what's he called?
Brilliant, Jack. He's great, so much fun. And he's a good, when I go home, he's a good kind of normality, takes my mind off things. And
Rebecca wants to know, what was your dream role in the West End? Is there one still to come, or is there a role that you've done that was your dream role?
Well, each show I've done, I've absolutely loved, and I've been lucky to do something like Eliza Doolittle to Fontaine to Ellen to create my own role in Rock You, and now to play the best.
We will rock you.
We will rock you. And you're not in the in crowd, you see. If you're in the in crowd, you call it rock you.
I've never been on the in crowd. That's why I'm sat here talking to you.
Actually, I was writing something for my college the other day, which is quite funny, for their perspectives or something, and they wanted to know a little sequence from me. And I put in there, all kind of past students all call ourselves Laneys. And I thought you'd like that one.
Laneys?
Laneys, because it's Lane Theatre Arts, but if you come across anybody that's been to the college, they all call themselves Laneys for some reason. Anyway, I diverse. So yeah, I've been lucky to play loads of big roles, and Wicked, I mean, it tops them. It's brilliant. And
all right, then, so the next question then from Hannah is a good one, actually, and she's pretty good here. What was bigger then, going to Broadway or doing the Royal Variety?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know, they're both on a par. I think Royal Variety was probably perhaps a little bit bigger, but then, when I was in Broadway, I turned the lights on at the Empire State Building, so that was a biggie too.
I presume they were green.
They were green, ironically.
I mean, you'll never forget things like that, and I suppose every time you go back and see it, you'll remember that, and that's
brilliant.
Just something you can't buy at any price.
No, it was brilliant, and I'm stood next to Stephen Schwartz, so I mean, it doesn't get bigger really. Well, or it does. The Royal Variety was Brian May. It just depends on how important your stars are to you, I guess.
And moving on to your fans again, I know they're very dedicated and they wait for you outside theatres and things. The weirdest present you've ever been given?
There's been a few. Oh no, the best one, actually, the one I got before I left was, I have a group that come over from Holland, and they'd painted a pair of clogs in like green faces, and they did a whole Wicked poster on this pair of clogs. Brilliant.
I had an email about that and I deleted it. I thought it was some mad woman, but she said, had you given it to somebody? Who was you meant to give it to? Or so I remember reading it. I didn't make a note about it. Were you meant to pass it on or something?
Like the clogs?
Yeah, or try them on.
For me, they fitted.
Really?
I mean, I don't tap dance in my kitchen in them, but they're brilliant. I've been given theatre tickets before. I went to see Barbara Streisand at the O2. I got given those, which was quite incredible, quite weird. I got given a banana holder once.
A banana holder?
Which was a bit strange.
What do you need a banana holder for?
Well, I think it came from, people used to see me come up